Hi, this is Trevor Conquergood. Welcome to this week's RNK Software Club's video for the week. And this week we're going to work on a holiday themed design for the 4th of July holiday. And we're going to work with designs that come from the RNK Software Club free monthly designs. And so if you're ready to get started, I'll pop on over to the Floriani workspace. And we'll start by just browsing. Over on the right hand side, we'll use our sort of browser tab, and we'll look specifically on the library tab. And if you go into, oops, I lost it there, July 2014, and select that folder. So basically you have to kind of like expand free monthly designs and expand July and click on 2014. Then when you look at the designs, you'll see all these great embroidery designs. So there's lots of red, white, and blue. Go ahead and look through all your sort of monthly designs. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring in this cool number 4. So, that could become the perfect sort of like centerpiece for some text that could say Happy 4th of July or Happy, whatever kind of text you want to add to it. So to get started, we want to work with our text tool. And so basically, obviously, that's over here. And you just click on the T to create some text. And I'm going to click right here to do a little TH so that it can be like, Happy 4th. And now it's coming up with whatever letter style I most recently worked in. But if I know what letter style I want, I can just click right here and scroll through, all the different letter styles that it comes with. And I was just going to use kind of like a block font that would do like a little TH. So I'll change my text to be a TH. Now, I'm not sure, do we do these in capitals or we do these in lowercase? I wasn't quite sure. It seems kind of big to me, and I like to do a lot of my text manipulation visually, which means rather than worrying about the numbers in the properties box, I like to just take the select tool and, move it around into where it belongs. And then I can click to resize it, bigger or smaller, and just kind of make it look like it looks appropriate. Sometimes I'll use a guideline. I'll pull down, see how you can just click on the ruler and pull out a little blue guideline. You can make as many of them as you want. If you pull out of the side, they'll come this direction. And so, if it helps you to have some sort of marks like that, but what I would do is I would put a guideline right along the top of the 4, and that way I can use it to make sure that I put my TH kind of along that same height like that. So really it's just visual what I'm trying to decide right now. There's no correct size, obviously, for the TH. If the guidelines are bothering you, you can right click over top of your ruler and say remove guidelines. So they're easy to add, and you can even kind of like move them around once you've added them. Just go over top of them again and click and drag. If you move them back to the ruler, they go away. That's another way to get rid of them. So now we want to put the words, happy and of July kind of thing around this. And another tool that I love to use when making a new design is the font play tool. And when I click on font play, I can interact with all of the fonts and see what they look like. But if I choose custom, I could actually type in the word happy. And I'll do it with upper and lower case, but of course that's up to me, right? And now I can like click on a letter style to see what that would look like. And I can just use my arrow key to go up and down and kind of keep looking at them. If you wanted to see less of them, one thing you can do up here, there's a filter. So I'm looking at my embroidery fonts, but if I just wanted to see only, script fonts or something like that, I could choose script in the list, and then it will allow me to kind of browse my script style fonts. And so you could kind of browse through and look for something that seemed like it was nice and festive and would maybe make a good happy 4th of July t-shirt front kind of thing. And so if you decide that you like this one, then you simply say import. And so it's just another way of creating a new text segment. And now I can pick that up and I can put it over here. I could put it over top. So maybe you want to do your t-shirt like Happy 4th of July. And so then you could maybe, this is one thing I like to do, if you want happy and of July to look the same and you want them to be the same size, you can set your happy, whatever, size that to the size that you like, and then click copy. So then you know that you have two letter sort of elements that are exactly the same size. And now you can make this one say of with maybe lowercase and then capital J for July, and say apply. So, excuse me, now visually it seems like there's some spacing going on, right? Like it's just too much space between the of and July. And so what I can do is to fix that, I need to change, because right now we're in like select mode, and select mode is good for selecting the elements of your designs and moving them around. But if you wanted to maybe change the letter spacing in between the F and the J, then you would right click and you would choose the edit text, and it changed the editing mode. You're now in kind of a text editing mode. And if there's a blue handle, and I can use this blue handle, to move the word July closer to the word of, like that. And if you wanted, less space between the O and the F, you could really micromanage and kind of visually adjust the letter spacing. So that is kind of something that's really cool about it. Now we've got like happy, and we've got 4th, and we've got of July, and if you wanted them to all be centered on the same horizontal line, I'm not going to select the TH right now because I don't want to include that, but I'll select these 3 elements and make sure that they're all aligned along the center line. And so the easiest way to do that is to use your alignment tool over here, where you can choose to align them along the same center line. So that'll just make sure that they're all like the center of the number 4 is the center of happy and is the center of July. And then you can kind of like use, what I would do is take all of that and use the same tool and move to center of my rulers. So rulers meanings center it on the workspace or center it in your embroidery hoop. And so now that that's all centered, then you could decide, was the TH kind of needed it, it could be visually done to make it look good with the number 4 like that. And so basically now I've created a layout, and on it goes. And I think it's really cool that you can quickly and easily make a t-shirt. If you decided that this was too tall and you had like more horizontal distance to use up and not so much vertical, then maybe you would want to put a guideline along the top of the 4 and put a guideline along the bottom of the 4, and then try and make your text like balance sort of like this way and then like this way. And so I guess I want to maybe make it so that the H is like kind of in line with the top of the 4. And so then maybe I want to make it so that the bottom of the Y is what's in line with the 4, so that I don't go, if that's kind of like your maximum height, then you just work with that. And so then I might want to try and make sure, did I get it all centered, So if I select everything and I ask it to center to my rulers, then if I select the number 4 and I kind of look at its center, and it's so I can see that, the number 4, see where the sort of center of the number 4 has a little X on it. And if I put see how when I move my cursor around, it makes a line appear on the ruler? So notice if I just put it over the center of that shape, I can see that's pretty darn close to the center of my ruler. So I think visually, when I put it on a shirt, it's going to look correct. I guess what I was worried about was, what if you got it where it wasn't balanced one side to the other with the word, so what I'm really saying is, from the edge of the H to the edge of the Y, that's kind of like the full center of the design. And was that was the center actually in the center of that, is all I'm saying. So that, you can use these guidelines to balance your designs, and you can check them and say, you know what, when I put one guideline over 0 and I move to this side, it's exactly this close to the 5. And when I go to that side, same thing. And you can use things like that to just make sure that everything's nice and straight. If you decided you would rather have to me visually, I would put the bottom of the O on the same line as kind of like the bottom of the 4. So if that was my bottom of my 4, then I would let those descenders kind of touch down just a little bit below it. And now I think I really like it. And just to be sure, I get rid of all my guidelines and see what does it look like kind of on its own in the middle of your screen. So that's what it is for today. I want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July or happy holiday weekend. And until next week, have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.